Hey everyone, Srirazan here, and today we'll be creating an effect that is quite famous on the interwebs these days. And the name of that effect is the tilt shift effect. It is used to create an illusion as if you're looking at a miniature model instead of a whole city's photograph, or a large photograph such as a plane, or an indoor photograph, or photographs of cities, etc. The effect is pretty simple to do and has a lot of potential for you to try out all the modes, all the settings, etc. So let's get started, right? We'll just open Photoshop here, and what we want to do, as we'll be going over two examples. So the first one would be this railway station, and the second one would be this Manhattan city image, right? So for the first image, as you might have noticed that toys and miniature models, plastic models, have really bright colors. So to just brighten up the image and add vibrance to it, what we want to do is we want to add a vibrance adjustment layer and just increase the vibrance of this, and a pinch of the saturation to make it a bit more colorful. And after that, what we want to do is press Ctrl Shift Alt and E to make a composite snapshot of this effect or this image, and then we want to go to filter and click on convert for smart filters. It will turn this image into a smart object, which would help us go back and forth between our effects on the same image without getting into the undos, or just deleting these images and doing all the stuff again and again. So what you want to do now, you want to go to filter, you want to go to blur, and then you want to go to tilt shift. The tilt shift, the middle eye or the middle circle that you see here indicates the main focus point of your image. The second lines here indicate how much the transition, or from where the transition will start, and until what part of your image will remain sharp. So in this example, I want my focus to be on the little crowd here, and I want this to be a bit slanted like so, and I'll just drag this in a bit like so from both these sides. Okay, and I'll just move the transition up, and on the lower transition slider I'll just make it come a bit closer to our like these solid lines. Okay, and then you can also control the amount of blur from this little slider, white slider here, by rolling it up or just bringing it down. And you can also control the blur from this little slider right here. I'd be having the blur to around, let's see, around 15 pixels, and the distortion to around 9%, right? And just click on OK to confirm that change. Depending upon your processor speed, an image would load up with the effects applied onto them, right? So for this example, actually we can use two types of blur effects, the first one being tilt shift, and the second one being an iris blur. And as I told you earlier, because we have converted this layer into a smart object, we can simply remove this filter by dragging these two circles down over to this trash or just bin icon here. And what we want to do, we want to go back to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur, and again place this here. We want the transition to be a bit subtle, but the area to be a bit small. So we'll just move these 4 dots inside our area which we want to have the focus on, and we'll just move this oval shape like so that we have a slanted transition like so. And I guess the blur amount is alright. Let's just see if we can do anything else. I guess that looks pretty nice, right? And we'll just click on OK now, and here you have your image. It looks like a miniature image actually, as if you have clicked a photo of a plastic model or something like that. So let's go on to our second example right here, and click on I don't want to save that image, so I didn't save any changes. Right, so here we have that city image, and the best setting or the best effect that you can apply on this image would be the tilt shift. The iris blur won't work on this that great, nor would the field blur. I really hate field blur actually. We'll be using the tilt shift on this image. So to do that, first of all, we would just duplicate that background layer and make it into a normal editable layer. To do that, you can drag this layer onto your new layer icon to copy it, or just press Ctrl J on your keyboard to copy that out. But before that, what you might want to do is that you can but before the effect, you might want to just brighten up the image again. Let's see if we need to do anything of that sort, because this image is already too saturated and looks quite good. Let's see. I guess that the vibrance of around 40% would look nice. So let's just close that and make a composite snapshot of this image by pressing Ctrl Shift Alt and E. And now what we want to do is right click on it and click on Convert to Smart Object, or again like we did last time, you go to Filter and click on Convert for Smart Filters and just click on OK. Right, now we want to go to Filter, Blur, and select Tilt Shift, and we'll just create a 15 degrees shift over this tilt over this image. And I guess I'll just move these sliders inwards, or maybe I'll have the lower slider, the transition slider, a bit towards the bottom part, or a bit farther away from the main like a subject, right? And the blur amount would be good at 15 pixels again. Just remember that you don't want to go too crazy on this effect, because it is a bit processor intensive and might take a bit time. Actually, this the image that I'm using here is a 5K image, and I just scaled it down to 2K so that it doesn't take much time to load the effect, right? So now what you want to do is just test if we want to add some blur. I guess 20 pixels is also nice, but I would be sticking on to 17 pixels. And the distortion, let's see, let's just add some 40% distortion and click on OK on this image. So here we have a blur applied to this, and one final effect that you can add on this image is by creating a new layer and by pressing Ctrl Shift and N. What we'll be doing is we'll be making a vignette over our image, and just press Ctrl Shift N and click on OK to confirm that layer creation. Now you want to press Ctrl R on your keyboard and just drag those rulers inside of your document like so. They should just snap into the middle, and if you don't snap into the middle, make sure your snap is turned on. Go into the view menu and have the snap check marked. The other way to bring up these rulers into the middle is by going to view, rulers, and you can just like go to new guide and make a horizontal ruler of 50% by writing 50 and adding a percentage sign on after a value, and click on OK. And again doing the same thing by clicking on new guide, and this time a vertical guide of 50% like so, and click on OK. So here again we have our guides. We'll press Ctrl R to hide those rulers again, and we'll take up our elliptical marquee tool by clicking and holding on a rectangular marquee tool option, and selecting the elliptical marquee tool. We'll just drag it out while holding Alt and just make a nice vignette shape, and press Ctrl Shift I to just invert the selection. Now pressing D to make the default color, to make our color palette back to the default colors, we'll press D and press Alt backspace to fill this selection in with black, and press Ctrl D again. Now what we want to do is just go to filter, and while you are on this layer 3, which in my case is the vignette layer, you want to go to the filter, blur, and add a nice Gaussian blur to it with a high pixel value. And you can just drag it out if you want to make this a bit subtle, or you can even play with the opacity to adjust the vignette. Right, so that's all for today, and I guess and you learned something new and enjoyed in this tutorial. So please like this video, comment below if you have any doubts, or if you have any problem regarding this tutorial, or if you want a new tutorial for yourself. I would be more than glad to release it. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more tutorials covering around 2 to 3 softwares like Photoshop, After Effects, Sony Vegas, Maxon Cinema 4D, Camtasia Studio, etc. I hope you enjoyed, guys, and we'll see you next.